Hello, welcome back to the Friend Request. It's me, your host, Chloe Maddren. Hi. I hope everyone's doing well this week. Really excited about today's episode. It was very interesting, very fascinating. My guest and I spoke about a lot of things, creativity. I think there was a little inside baseball, but I think that you'll get something out of it. It's really interesting if you're fascinated by things like the way that culture responds to artists, musicians, comedians, everything like that. We're also obviously joking around a lot and being a bit funny and silly. There's definitely a few hot takes given around a few different interesting cultural phenomenons. Wow. But I think there's something for everyone. I think you're really going to enjoy it because I know I did. And I've had this guest on before. They're a returning guest, friend of the pod, friend of mine, just a wonderful, great friend of everyone, really. I mean, hell, you know him. You know the song? Catch My Disease? You know the song Cigarettes Will Kill You? My God, he's got so many goddamn songs. He's so good. He's an icon. He's a legend of the Australian music industry and the global music industry, really. So please welcome to the show the lovely Ben Lee.
Did we just become best friends? Yep. Did we just become best friends? Did we just become best friends?
It's been almost 2 years since I've had you on the podcast, and wow, what a time it's been. We're best friends now. We speak every day.
Wait, are we recording?
Yes, it's recording.
Oh, I thought there'd be someone here manning the cameras. Okay.
No.
When did we start?
God. We started ages ago, but we can.
Okay, you can use whatever you want. It's anything secret. There's a lot of me just asking about YouTube ad revenue. I don't think that's going to be that interesting.
We'll see what stays in there.
Yeah. Oh, good. Okay, sorry, I didn't realize. I thought we were waiting for someone.
Sorry.
Okay, let's get into it.
No, Dave is the producer. He just does this.
He's that good at his job. He doesn't need to be
here.
here.
We're done. I'm kind of glad there's not people in here manning the cameras. I don't know how I'd feel.
Ioni's the same. She likes to do the pods with at our house with no one there.
Yeah.
I don't mind a little bit of an audience because it's sort of like just see if it's landing or not. But they're not listening anyway. These kind of
totally.
It's the 10th podcast they're filming in a day. It's like they've got other things to think about. Yeah,
it could be fun though. Yeah, but we'll see one day maybe.
Yeah.
But it has been a little bit since you've been on.
Yeah,
I can't believe when I checked the date of your episode, I was like, I didn't even know that the podcast's been going for that long.
And I remember going I should have taken a Zyrtec because you had cats. And I was sitting amongst all this fluffy accoutrements of cat hair. And by the end of the time I left, I was like, okay.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
All good.
Horrible. Well, no cat here and new accoutrements.
Yeah, beautiful.
Perfect. Thank God. Because you're not the only person in the world who's allergic to cats, sadly. Devastating life, though. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I used to be.
No, really?
Yeah.
You worked through it?
I just chose not to be.
See, that's what my daughter says. I said, well, we're both allergic to cats. She's like, no, you're allergic to cats. I've passed through it or something. She said I chose. I was like, I don't know if it works that way. I do believe in mind over matter to a degree.
I think you can desensitize yourself a little.
But that's more your attitude. It's not your actual physical response.
I mean, I am heavily inflamed.
Yeah.
Constantly. But I worked at a pet store when I was younger and I was allergic to all animal fur.
Okay.
And most of them got better, most of the allergy responses, except for to guinea pigs. They can kill me now.
Interesting.
I started going borderline anaphylactic.
Okay. Wow. Well, there
so
you go.
It's a dangerous game to play.
Yeah. You are challenging God. You're
Pretty
challenging
much.
nature. You're basically bring it at me. I think I can win.
That's all I want to do with this life.
Exactly.
Challenge God.
Yeah, exactly.
So who's God now?
It's running up that hill. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's been a wonderful time, just I don't know, getting to chat to you more. And we spoke about it before we were recording briefly. You said, how did that acting job go? Because you gave me some wonderful advice. You're a really cool person, just by the way.
Thank you.
To know.
Thank you.
Just, I don't know, I spoke about you with Ione as well on her episode about your being so social and so inclusive and just a cool person to be friends with. But you did give me some advice recently when I posted a little story.
And just for the record, it was solicited. You put on your close friends Instagram story.
Yes.
No big deal. I am on close friends. Okay. But I'm not bragging. I'm kind of bragging.
You can brag.
Anyway, and I am interested in what does one have to have you ever had people that are like borderline where you're like, I don't know, should I add them to close friends? Sometimes I see people do polls of their close friends, like, should I add this person to close friends? And
Okay, that's so cute. I love that. That's cunty as hell.
yeah.
Just like putting it on everyone else as well. I like that. My rules are pretty much, I mean, sometimes I'll edit and then it'll be just a very, very small list of like, you know, if I just want my family. I think you can make separate lists now. But for the most part, my close friends are people that I know personally, talk to, like, and not even, some of them aren't even people I've met in person. Like some of my comedian friends I've only chatted to online.
But you feel safe with them to some degree. Yeah. I kind of, my criteria is sort of like, if I dox myself, do I feel okay with that person knowing my actual address?
Brilliant.
You know what I mean? And there's enough people I go like, I can trust this person. I'd invite them to my house.
That's it.
So I'm okay with it.
That's a really good.
So you put on your close friends, you're having a dilemma about accepting a job or not, or going up for a job.
Yes, for an acting job that has now been released for Super WOG. If you're not familiar and if you're not from Australia, that name of that show sounds wildly offensive, but that's what they're called, okay? It was...
you have a PR pass.
I have a PR pass. Also, my stepdad's Italian. Okay, so I'm allowed to say it. It was playing like a hot MILF, which I'm like, okay, I'm a baby, so let's calm down with the MILF term.
You can drink legally now, right?
Only with the parents' permission.
Oh, okay. That's wildly miscasting. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was very two-dimensional, and they said this, and I think it was just maybe after something else had come up where I was also put into this pigeonhole of be a hot chick, there's no dimension, don't even be funny. And I'm like, fuck you guys. You know, maybe my younger self would have been flattered to be called hot, but now I'm like, shut up. And maybe I don't want to do that because I feel like it's putting me in this box that I don't want to be in, or it was over-sexualizing. And the script was rough. So I did put out to the close friends saying, should I do this, should I not? Is it going to hurt or help me more? To which he gave me brilliant advice, which was just do everything. You know, if it doesn't hit, people will forget it.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways, you should be so lucky to be typecast, which means so many people are aware of your work and have put you in a box because they love you so much in that space. Like, it's sort of a good problem to have. And for the most part, culture and media moves so quickly these days that people can barely keep track of their own projects, let alone other people's.
That's a very good point.
So I think just making a lot of things and kind of, you know, this sort of is just the way tech is in general. People say, you know, fail fast, fail cheap, fail often. I think it's the same with like being creative within technology, which is kind of where we are, you know.
That's so true.
Yeah, you just got to like make a lot and you learn on the way. You learn by doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, I really appreciate it.
Oh, good. I'm glad it went well.
It helped. It also helped that I made them change the script.
Oh, good. Yeah.
One of the first lines was just too gratuitous. And I was like, that's like, come on, guys, let's have a little subtlety. And they were like, sorry. Yeah. We just got too excited when you said that you'd do it.
Oh, they added gratuity to it. Okay. Okay, interesting.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
And even then I'm like, I'll play it like this and I'll really ham it up. I'll be funny with it. They were like, nope, you'll do it our way.
Well, I'm really interested in just your journey with that whole thing because, like, I've always had this idea that if I had been more like conventionally handsome, right? Like I would see guys in bands and some of them were just like matinee idols.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yes. And then there were like the rest of us, they were just like musicians who we just like, we like playing music. We didn't get into it because we're models, you know what I mean? But I always saw how they got a running start. But it also worked against them sometimes because it's almost like Michael Jordan, people going, look, I'm sorry, you can't be that good at baseball. It's like you've got a skill and people then, maybe that's what you mean by put you in a box. People then assume that like you're not going to be as good or as serious in another area. And I know that's, you know, it's like something you've got to work with whatever you have. Like for me, I know that for a long time, I've known that I have an ability to talk about things in a way that is like kind of reactive. Like
Yeah.
people get excited or in intense disagreement or whatever it is.
Yeah, but it's evocative.
And so for a long time I sort of hid from that, and then I was like, this is my skill set. Like if
Yeah.
I'm not using it. So I don't know. I guess these types of dilemmas about working with, sex appeal or whatever,
Yeah.
they're complicated in terms of how you
Absolutely.
approach it. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that if it was just limited to being put in a box of attractive or hot, that would be one thing. I think it's the overly sexual nature that scares me, which is upsetting as someone who has been like historically so liberated sexually, so open, so into anti-slut shaming, and just a big fan of people being able to talk about everything. It upsets me deeply that I feel any kind of hesitance towards that arena, because it can sometimes invite, in heavy quotes, people then putting more of that energy onto me.
So you have creeps, basically. There are creeps.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm scared to do anything that is too, I don't want to say that, or I don't want to do anything
Right.
because then they feel empowered to say more horrific sexual harassment, That's where it comes from.
So that's okay. That's intense, because that also leads to then when you're at your shows, you might not physically feel as safe in a space, or the way people are looking at you. But it's also, it's tricky because it's like, it's about your creativity and your freedom to play and what you feel is okay territory and isn't. So that's quite an intense thing to work through, I guess.
It is. I mean, look, it's what my next show is all about.
Is it?
So
Yeah,
it's great fodder for writing. But there is also a point where it's like, well, I don't want to let someone's severe lack of judgment and, I mean, morals really define how I live my life.
Yeah,
So,
totally.
yeah.
And then I guess with like being funny, I guess that is, as you go on, you get more of these different offers and you try and figure out what it is. I think a lot about, what am I going to get to do with an opportunity, as opposed to what am I not going to get to do from it. Like every opportunity has drawbacks to it, right? Like if you're the, what are they called? Ballpark Music.
Yeah.
They're opening for Oasis.
Yeah.
There is a very high chance they are going to be profoundly ignored, right, by that audience.
Yes.
If you focus on that, though, you're never going to say yes. What are you going to get to do? You're going to actually get to play to a profoundly music-loving audience that are very populist and mainstream. And I said there's no snobbiness from that crowd.
Great point.
Big stages, get to work with how you connect to bigger crowds. Anyway, so, I got asked to do, a friend of mine directed a short film a couple of days ago. He sent me it and he's like, look, would you have any interest in doing a song for it? And I watched the short film and I was like, I don't know. But then like, I'm really interested in, I guess I'm just really interested in collaboration.
Yeah.
And I realized that I was being given the prompt to try something new for myself. And I was grateful for that. So even though it wasn't like, it's not that it was like my dream project or something, there was something about it that I was going to get to exercise and flex a muscle with that I was excited about.
True. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I think the openness is really good to remember, because it is like I'm, I don't know, constantly working my butt off to want to get to make things, right, for people to enjoy. And it feels logically really silly to have anything getting in my own way. Yeah. Well, I appreciate the advice.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to follow it too. It's like, it's like we're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are king of collaboration, and you're actually, as I mentioned before, you're very cool at supporting people around you. Something that, since you've been on the podcast last and we've become bestest friends who talk all the time every day, you invited me to a little event at your house, and you were throwing this party to help get people around another friend's project. And I didn't even know. I remember going, I didn't even know this is something we could do.
Yeah, right.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I was in awe. I was like, we can do this. I'm going to do that with. That's so great.
Yeah.
What a wonderful thing to do with your
Well,
friends.
I look at it as like cheerleading.
Yeah.
Like I like cheerleading for talented people,
Yeah.
you know, and I consider it a great honor and privilege to play even a very small role in supporting someone's creativity if I dig the creativity, you know. So do you know Nina Geraci? You know, so she's an EDM artist who's she's got a big record at the moment. It's doing really well. It's really, really good. Awesome. She's but so, you know, a few years back she was in LA for the first time and one of her gigs got cancelled. And I said to her, do you want to do a gig at our house? Do you want to we'll throw a rave?
Yes.
And we just invited 50 friends over and set up, decks. And we had the best night and then had her back in and we started making music and introducing it to people. Anyway, it turned into one of the songs we made in this little jam got onto her record and it was really cool. And the album has been a real success around the world and I'm a footnote in it, but I feel very honored. That's always the kind of career I wanted, kind of life I wanted, bigger than career, where I want my life to be full of footnotes in other people's interesting stories.
Oh my God, yes. Oh, I love that. I fuck with that. That's
really
cool.
And supporting people is it's so amazing. I've always thought the music community is really bad at getting behind each other's work in that if you look at a musician's Instagram stories, they're always promoting their own shit.
Yeah.
Promote your friend's shit too. You know what I mean? And I just thought you've got this platform. We should constantly all be creating the culture that we want to live in.
Yeah.
And so I just think it's a really good habit to get into of supporting your friends and peers' work.
Mm-hmm. I agree completely. Do you see that with anyone else, in other arts? Do you see that because I think comedians are often pretty bad as well.
They?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's gotten better, but even then I see a lot of the time it can be a little tit for tat, you know. Some people get very offended if they see another comedian promoting a different comedian that's not them, and it's very strange.
Yeah, well, everyone's got, egos, and it is an innately competitive business. There's only a certain amount of slots available or whatever. But I don't know. I had an experience many years ago. I went out for breakfast with Zooey Deschanel before she did even She and Him, before she did New Girl. She was just starting out acting and stuff, and she was dating a friend of mine. We ended up having breakfast together. And she was an eccentric, creative young woman. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about something about the industry, and she goes, I've just always believed there's a lot of room at the top. And I was like, her innocence and her hope and optimism blew me away. And I've carried that moment and that idea with me my whole career.
Good.
There is a lot of room, because there's actually sort of infinite room as long as you are finding a variation on creativity that is uniquely yours.
That's exactly
There's
it.
not a lot of room for, there can only be one person being that one person because they already exist, right? So if I'm trying to be John Mayer, that is not going to work very well because there's a John Mayer. But there's room for infinite variations of creativity and expression.
Yeah. Truly, that's what does confuse me about the competitive nature in something like comedy that is so obvious with your differences, people will put me in the same pile as a bunch of my friends just because we're female comedians.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we don't have remotely the same jokes, voices, anything. What do you mean?
Yeah.
So it alarms me.
Well, that's a particular thing also to do with being female.
Yes.
That is because they do that with female musicians too. A little less so now, but it is funny, the idea that, I don't know, like a female comedian is a type of comedy or something, which
crazy.
it doesn't really make any sense.
No.
Yeah.
No, and you can find out if you go to any of the female comedy shows, see
Yeah.
a lineup, you're like, oh, it's incredibly different every
Yeah,
single time.
yeah.
It's interesting. I hate the competing stuff. I hate it so much. It really grinds my gears. Ooh.
Yeah, but do you have people, like, do you have secret grudges and stuff? Like, do you have, like, anyone
no, I'm
you
very
resent?
public about them.
Oh, really?
No.
Well, who tell me,
No,
fill
no,
me
no.
in.
No,
I'm not up to date on your content. I need more.
No, I don't. I really don't. I think there's like one person who is really nasty, and it's not because of this, but she is my boyfriend's ex.
Okay. It's a coincidence.
That's not. It's a coincidence.
Total coincidence.
She was nasty
no
before,
connection.
before he and I dated.
Yeah.
And only because of like it was. I didn't realize that we were beefing as hard as we apparently were, but I like moved cities and found out she's saying this and this, and I'm like, what? Last time I spoke to her, I brought her brownie.
And she's a comedian?
Yeah. And she's probably the one person who's really sparked anything.
Interesting.
When I see her, like, it's not like we follow each other, but,
Yeah.
hear on the grapevine, she got this, and I go, rats.
Yeah.
But it's only because I'm like, there are people, I may not even like the actual comedy that they do, but if they're nice, I'm chill. I want the best for everyone.
yeah.
But her, I'm like, you're really mean.
Yeah.
Stop it. But other than that, and even that, I let go. It's not eating at me.
Yeah.
But I guess there are some people that, that if I stumble upon a thing, I go, I actually can't deal with that right now purely because of my own insecurity this week.
But surely there's people you're jealous of.
Kind of. There are people I envy certain career things, certain things that they have, but I'm pretty good at being aware that what comes with that is also being them and their life.
Sure.
And I'm so happy with me and my life. I'm like, well, I can't be them.
Yeah.
Because I get my lovely little home with my cat. I don't
get
know.
that.
I'm pretty good at separating
That's
it.
good.
Yeah, I don't know. There are moments.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah, it's I don't know, like it's interesting when you have a long career because you see so many different people. Like pop music and rock music really thrives on these debutante moments.
Yeah.
Where people come onto the scene and the spotlight hits them and you've never seen anything cooler, younger, sexier, more edgy. It's just like, like I remember when the Vines came out, the first time they played LA, I went to see them at the Troubadour. Me and Rose Byrne went and we were watching them and they were wild and uncontained and free and there was hype and excitement in the room and they were 19 and I was 23. I don't know, but I was already like an older generation of musician.
Yeah.
And then the Strokes and Wolf Mother and like you see so many of them. You have so many of these moments until, it's now I'm in my I'll be 47 by the time this comes out. And there's whatever it is, Lil Yachty. I don't know. Just like someone's like having a moment, Is
that a real person?
Yeah. Okay. But I just mean it's like you do tend to develop some perspective by going through the roller coaster so many times where you're so jealous of someone coming out and having the world at their feet, but realizing that inevitably they are all going to probably fuck it up in quite similar ways.
Yeah, right.
Because that is what youth is.
Yeah.
It's the opportunity to blow it all up.
So well put. Oh my God. Wow. Well, now that you remind me of the existence of more that's actually where most of my jealousy lies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I wanted to be a singer as a child and more than I wanted to do music stuff. That is.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did. I
it.
saw you singing. You're a good singer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just a little out of practice, but I'm trying to work it a bit more into my things that I do. I miss it, but that's definitely something that it's hilarious because it's so unrealistic kind of jealousy. But yeah, I'll see like when I first saw Sabrina Carpenter come onto the scene, I was like, I guess I'll just fucking go then. Like as if I was vying for the same spot as Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah, I would think more like, like Ricky Lindholm or like people that do, even like Sarah Silverman has had music involved in her. Like you can do it in your comedy in a way that's really beautiful. And
I did a song. I did a song in my show last year.
Oh,
Actually,
cool.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be doing it again. So yeah, I'm working it in, but it's like such a different thing. I'm like, I want it to be the star.
I know. But sometimes it's funny that with like those unfulfilled wishes, because sometimes they are like the jealousy is an unrealized part of oneself that is coming out in like a shadow way that you're like, you haven't let yourself sing and you want to sing and you should be singing. That's why you're jealous, you know?
Yes.
But then there is another side of it that's also like greedy and we just want everything.
Yeah.
And it's like goes back to the like, you know, Michael Jordan playing baseball or like, you know, me going, why don't I look like the guy from the All-American Rejects? Or, you know, whatever, like these.
Totally.
Where you just go like, I don't get it. Why can't I have it all? And part of growing up and maturing is just realizing, sorry, because you can't. That's life.
That is life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll come to terms with that one day. I'll make everyone listen to me sing first. Actually, you have heard me sing because I, like a psycho, sent you a video of me singing a parody of Jolene, but it's Bentley. How'd you feel?
I thought, I don't know quite what you're going for, but sure, I'll take it. It was nice.
It was a niche.
It was niche.
Well, that's very sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, that was good. And it was pretty well produced and everything too.
Oh, thank you.
And you had harmonies going.
I put in a little effort.
Yeah.
I've made a few songs like that since, not parody, but like original ones. And it is funny because it's still just shot on my phone, recorded in my office. But yeah, silly the amount of like time and effort that I've put in.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
Yeah.
I did that before Christmas last year. I was like, 3 a.m. one night. I've got to write this song. So I write this stupid song about the year, a Christmas song. And then I put it all into my head that I have to get this recorded and filmed and edited and out before Christmas, which is like 5 days away.
Right.
And my boyfriend's we're going up to Queensland, and he's just watching me kill myself over this thing that's like terrible quality. But it's very fun to do.
I do a lot of those weird self-imposed things. And I mean, they're just like you light little fires under yourself to like, others it won't get done.
Exactly. And I mean, I think a lot of good stuff comes out of that.
Yeah,
right?
It does. I wonder it must be interesting with comedy because as a musician, obviously music and comedy are very connected. And most musicians love comedy and most comedians love music. But I've always felt that musicians have this sort of we're a little more fortunate in the sense that we can dabble in humor.
Yes.
In a way that's easier than for comedians to dabble in music.
Yes.
Like suddenly when a comedian has any music involved, it's a bit like, okay, let's see where this is going. And then there's a real decision of, is it going to be funny music or are you going to try and do like a Tim Heidecker and then do like, okay, now I've earned the capital with my audience. I'm going to do something earnest. And you've spent so long, because I think part of the reason comedians are so amazing is there's obviously the ability to make a room full of strangers genuinely laugh. Like when you go see Sam Campbell, you don't need to know anything about him. You are going to be laughing.
Yeah.
It's going to get you, right? But then there's this added thing that happens when people come ready to laugh because you've built that trust where they know I'm going to get value for my laughing dollar.
Yeah.
And then in a way, it's almost like it's on. When you come out on stage, they're just ready for you, you know? So in a way, it's like how you negotiate what you do with that trust.
Yes.
When you've built this trust that they're ready to laugh, oof, are you going to try and make them cry? Are you going to try, it's intense.
Yeah.
And a lot of comedians you see like that journey is, I think, very interesting to watch.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
It's because music is inherently earnest, even if you're writing funny stuff.
Yeah.
Just the act of playing or singing is like, I'm going to try. Like it's this, I'm going to try in front of everyone. And that's so, I think, has the potential for a lot of cringe for people. So yeah, it's like, it can be frightening. Whereas with musicians, when you're going into, I'm going to see this person I love because of the way that I feel from their incredible music. And then they completely out of the blue, out of nowhere, no expectations, make you laugh. It's like, they're the funniest person in the world.
Yeah.
It's so incredible.
Yeah,
and that's
pure.
why I fucking envy musicians.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I want to be like just accidentally funny sometimes.
Yeah, no, that's true. I think it's really, it's tough. That is a tough part of comedy. That like the unexpected laugh is the real gold in life.
Yeah.
The pressure of the expected laugh.
Yeah.
It almost is like heroin addicts who they just need to keep doing heroin to maintain. They don't even get high
Yes.
anymore. You know what I mean? It's like I go to the comedy show just to go, yep, that person's doing good. You're not even, I don't know. It's just like so,
God, that's so
it's hard to catch your audience off guard. But I guess similarly with all creativity, like, there's certain comfort zones that you can do really well. And then you start going, okay, how do I, can I get my audience to do something a bit different?
Yeah, I love that. You've really highlighted what I think the vibe is in a lot of clubs these days, and especially when it's like a kind of evening that breeds hecklers. Because, comedy has become a lot more accessible and stuff with Netflix and the internet and everything like that. So people do go in with these expectations, and it's interesting.
So wait, do you think there's more hecklers post Netflix boom?
Yes.
Okay.
think
Because they're
so.
seeing all these crowd work comedians and they think that's what comedy is.
Yeah, and also because
Okay.
they're seeing what they want in their own algorithms for the things that they look up, and then they go to a club and they see a variety of acts, and they go, but that's not exactly the kind of humor I like.
Gotcha.
I think there's a bit of that.
Gotcha.
That's just my opinion.
And do they think heckling is every comedian likes it and it's part of the show? Is that, I imagine that would be a profound misunderstanding.
I would say it would be,
Yeah.
although there is one comedian in Sydney, Cameron Duggan, who I almost want to force hecklers upon because he
Right.
just flies. He
Yeah.
soars. It's awesome. But no, I think there's a handful of hecklers that think that that it's fine, it's acceptable, it's fine, and improving it. And then I think there's just a big chunk who genuinely just don't respect the person on stage.
Yeah.
I'd say those are the type that I often encounter. Usually the more drunk kind of just yelling around, they're the former.
Interesting.
They're just there for a good time.
And then what about with ages? Because notoriously in the music community with venues and festivals, what we know is that young people don't drink as much anymore.
Yeah.
They do a lot of other drugs,
Yeah.
but they don't drink. Do you see that in comedy clubs too?
Yeah.
So you see younger people coming, not drinking, but are they like coked up?
No. I love younger audiences.
Okay, so they're
personally.
coming like fully sober.
Yeah.
They're going to be home in bed by 11.
Yeah,
They're
I
just
mean,
like, yeah.
and some of them are drinking a little bit, not as much.
Okay.
I think that a less drunk audience for comedy is
Sure.
decent. I think that's ideal, personally.
Yeah.
There's a sweet spot.
Yeah.
Like everything. But the drunker they are, they're just, it's like herding cats.
Yes.
Up there constantly, especially at club shows where it is like, they're not there for you. They're there to just see comedy in general. You've got such a strange mix of people who would probably never hang out, and to add a lot of alcohol.
So is being
it's a
on
mess.
late bad?
It depends on on
Okay.
the show, but
But you'd rather be on at 9 than on at 10:30.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
Usually, I remember in Brisbane, someone tried to do a midnight show, like thinking they were in New York or something,
Right.
and it was after a heavy metal gig
Right.
at this like Beetle bar, whatever it is. I think they only did it once or twice because there's a lot of people that had hung around since after the metal gig. And then there's a comedy show on. Everyone's shit-faced and pretty riled up. I think there were fights both times. It was not the conducive to listening.
Bad scene. Yeah.
Active listening.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about me and comedy. I have some. Oh God, what do we? Yes, I have to ask you
Okay.
before we get into some sleepover games. We've got to talk about Taylor Swift.
Okay.
You act surprised. I told you.
Yeah. Taylor Swift's fine. I have no issue. Taylor Swift.
I know.
Taylor Swift, when she was editing her little MySpace video, she used "Catch My Disease." This is back in 2005.
Oh my
On one of her
God.
cute little videos on the bus, and I loved it and whatever.
Oh.
But I and some of her songs I've really enjoyed.
Yeah.
I do think pop stars and rock stars play roles in culture.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they want to choose the roles they play.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're correct. Other times they are there to play a role for us that they didn't even willingly take on, like Sinead O'Connor, even Fiona Apple. I think like these are complex artists who are there to represent at an archetypal level something other than the journey they set out
Yep.
to embody.
Yep.
And in a way that's, in a Joseph Campbell world, that would be actually what the hero should do. The hero goes into it for themselves and ends up having to serve something, bigger.
Yeah.
But Taylor Swift, I think, wants to play one role,
Yeah.
which is the relatable, anyone could do it, but I just have that magic extra something that means I'll do it. Whereas I think the actual, to me, I've felt for a very long time, she's not talked about as a CEO. She's talked about as a songwriter, as if that's her greatest strength. She's a fine songwriter.
Yeah.
She makes good records. They're not my favorite records, but I totally get why they work. But her business thrives because she's a killer CEO.
Yes.
And that's, I think, the realm that she, in a way, is most natural at.
I'd have to agree.
I mean, it's almost like in that way, it's like I think of her as like Jeff Bezos or Anna Wintour or like a visionary business person.
100%. And like you can even, I am a fan. I only started getting into her music the last 5-6 years or so, but I've listened to a lot of it. And from that, you can even see that coming across in some of her writing. Would be interesting to see her lean into it more. But yeah, this kind of acknowledgement of I'm a fucking boss. You're so right. I completely agree.
And I don't feel, I could be totally wrong about this. Most of my favorite artists that are really just like artists, they're not business people, they're artists. They would be making music whether anyone was listening or not.
Yeah.
I don't get that vibe from Taylor Swift. That's like saying, would McDonald's be making hamburgers if no one was buying them? No. It's a giant business and it functions in constant dialogue with its customer base.
Yeah.
And that's kind of interesting. That's a different model of the way someone can, do their career.
Oh, yeah, totally. And I mean, fuck, we do have to all function in a capitalist society, and what a way to function in it. Like, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, and I
it's a good take.
But I do think that the reason I called her an evil genius or a supervillain is that she's got this amazing skill of getting what she wants, but making it seem like it's being done for her fans. Yeah. There's something where and it's all about this parasocial connection
yes, of course.
where, and there's a lot that's been said about stan culture and this type of like almost violent mob that nowadays good pop stars have to be out there just like basically like fighting in your name on the internet.
Yeah.
Whether it's the Barbs, the Nicki Minaj fans or Harry Styles or whatever, they really get their hands dirty and they are minions that are released on the enemy.
Yeah.
And the artist doesn't even need to tell them to because it's
No.
it's like an unconscious order. You know what I mean? It's basically
Yeah.
like you will be rewarded for your devotion to the cause. It's a lot like jihadists, you know?
God. That's so funny.
There's a promise of a reward, of an afterlife reward that I think stan culture really perpetuates. That like one day,
hell.
hey, if you are the perfect Barb,
Mm-hmm.
one day Nikki will tweet at you and recognize you for everything you've done for the cause. Swifties, one day Taylor is going to FaceTime you. You
Yeah.
won't. It's going to happen when you least expect it. But it's, you know, it's this whole thing. It's like an omnipotence
Yeah.
that's ascribed to the pop star. And then everyone else are like the cult members or the devotees just waiting for a glance from the guru, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
It's
Do you think-
weird.
It is.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I think that fandom in general, like to that level, I've never really got it.
Hmm.
And I didn't even realize that until I was a grown adult and people would say, what, like, were you obsessed with? And I'm like, I don't know. And it makes me feel weird. But to that level, it's concerning usually. I'm wondering though, do you think that comes from kind of just the circumstances of the world that we live in, like with social media and everything like that? Because you see it across everything, whether it's because of brilliant art being made or it's because of a dumb YouTube show where people are joking around together. There are these stands and like, I know I have seen people defend me that I never asked. I am sometimes grateful for it.
Yeah,
I am.
sure.
But I'm like, where
Add
did
it
they
to the
come
close
from?
friends. Yeah.
I will. I'll add
Yeah.
them in. Yeah.
Well, this is what I
Could you
think.
even stop it if they...
I respect public people who try and cap that behavior.
Yes. Okay.
You know,
Okay.
I think if you see things being done in your name,
yeah.
and this happens on national levels, like citizens of a country saying what our leaders are doing does not represent me, right? I think pop stars should be doing the same thing of going, guys, chill the fuck out.
Yep.
This is not that big a deal.
God, you make a great point.
And I just think if you're not doing that, you actually see this with a lot of, like wellness influencers and people that are elevated to these sort of like cult of personality, like guru type behaviors where they go, look, I don't ask my followers to think of me as this evolved. That's just how they
Yeah.
think of me as
Yeah.
that, like, and it's like, yeah, but you're not doing anything to fucking dissuade it. I'll tell you that much. You know what I mean? Like you have to be a normal person and take some responsibility for what
Yeah.
you've created.
yeah,
So
and
that's,
it's pretty easy.
yeah, I would
to-
like to see a little more of that from some of these people at the top of the food chain.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I'm stuck. You've said it brilliantly. As soon as I even asked, like, oh, what could they do? I go, I guess I could probably just say something.
Yeah, well, and like, but the thing that's tricky is like, you don't want to come across as overly earnest or too, like that's like going back to
Yeah.
like Fiona Apple at the MTV Awards. Guys, this world is bullshit.
Yeah.
She said, you guys all want to be here. It's bullshit. She was a young person trying to get this message across that
Yeah.
like, you're seeing this through a distorted vision. It's not the be all and end all.
Yeah.
It's a fantasy.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
Now, the one thing I'll say is that, like, I think the reason that people don't break the fantasy, break the illusion, this is celebrities particularly, is that they are well aware at some level that their whole shtick is smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
And that if you took away the fantasy, there wouldn't be much there. There's a lot of people that gain quite a lot of power in the world through building up a sort of false mystique where it's not that they necessarily have something of huge substance to offer, but they know by withholding they can manipulate things quite well.
100%.
And I think that I've met enough people with actual value, like really have something to offer that like you could sit with them at the pub like a normal person, and they are interesting people. That's why I always, like, for me, the biggest gift of my job is that I get to connect with creative people. If I like someone's movie or album or clothes, I'll write to them. I'll be like, I love what you're doing. If you ever want to get together and have a drink and talk. And I always find, I don't know, I can't even think of an exception to this. I always find if I've resonated with someone's work, I resonate with them as a person at some level. They're interesting. Yeah. So I know there are enough people out there that have real substance, but not everybody.
Well, yes, absolutely. Even these people that do have this mystique, do you think that it is a lack of substance that maybe deters them from showing that human side, or is it simply they have the substance as well, but it's like you're gonna make more money, you're gonna get, it just brings in more of everything by keeping those walls up? Yeah,
I don't know. I've always leaned towards being honest, and I think I went through a phase of my career thinking, I've been too honest.
Yeah.
Like I am now, it's all public record. Like I've made lots of mistakes and I've said things and and then you just kind of go like, it's too out there. Like 3 decades of a career and I've said too much, that's how it feels. But then I just go, well, hang on, people are still interested.
Yeah.
So then what does that mean? It means that like, it's not smoke and mirrors. It's actually by being real and in my process that, and this is just for me, this isn't for every artist, but for me, some degree of transparency, I think, has only helped me connect with people. And I think people like that. So,
and the people who actually like more of you,
so it's interesting. But I've definitely, at times I've looked at people that have played it a cooler hand, and I've been envious that I didn't cultivate more mystery,
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Me too, completely. Yeah. I think that's why, though, you'll seldom find a comedian who is like really top tier celebrity, like the ones who have like really got the sheen on them and the money, because comedians are telling just so much, just purely because that's the form of art, it's just talking with the podcasts and the actual shows, like it's just so much. And I feel like a lot of people perceive even the most successful comedians as still someone that they're going to say hi to and not be that intimidated by.
Have you been following this whole Mark Maron manosphere thing that's going on at the moment?
I mean, I follow Mark Maron and I love him. And
no, that's okay. Let me just. So what's been going on is his whole press tour for his current special.
Yeah.
Is about how basically Joe Rogan and his crew have
Theo
ruined comedy, and they are like kind of like a group of thugs that everyone's scared of Joe Rogan, and it's all just. And anyway, I pretty much agree with him. But one of the things that was interesting was that guy Tony Hinchcliffe, who does Kill Tony. His rebuttal was, these guys, Mark Maron and, John Mulaney or whatever, they come out every 2 years, they pop their heads up with an act. I'm out there every week doing 2.5 hours of comedy. And Mark Maron's like, yeah, it's called an act. It's called like developing an act for 2 years and delivering something polished, not just having verbal diarrhea and like just like assuming every thought you have is worthwhile. And I thought that was a very nuanced argument about the current state of pop culture, particularly in regards to social media and everything and podcasting, where we are in a much more fluid conversation with our audience. But what I find this with songwriting, the last few weeks I've written 2 new songs, which I'm really happy with, which I haven't written in a while. And it's a reminder for me that everything comes out of the hard work that I actually put into writing songs.
Yeah.
Like doing a podcast, doing whatever I do, it's all after. The motor is this craft of songwriting. And I think that's like Mark Maron's point too, that like the actual engine that drives his career is that he works on an act. It's not the thing he's made the most money from.
Nope.
Podcasting has been a much better
Yep.
business for him,
Yep.
but the engine that drives it. And I really relate to, I like craftspeople in that
Yeah.
way, you
Yeah,
know, and I do
absolutely.
think that does set aside, it separates artisans and craftspeople from just hosts.
Oh my God.
Do you know what I mean?
Completely. I know exactly what you mean. Brilliantly put.
Yeah. Anyway, it's worth. I would get up.
I have been
get on
across
TikTok
some
and
of
look up
this.
Mark Maron, Joe Rogan, and watch. And then there's actually
Awesome.
there's a video essay that came out a few months ago by this guy called Elephant Graveyard, and it's this dark comedic essay called "How an Anti." What was it called? I forget. Anyway, it's like basically about a doomsday cult took over comedy. Anyway, it's very interesting. But this whole thing is like super interesting about what these spaces are best used for in terms of us as
Yes.
craftspeople,
Okay.
and you know,
Okay.
yeah, and who are some of these thugs that like take over our businesses and our industries.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why, again, not to call Taylor Swift a thug, but I did, no, not to say that, but I did feel that it was interesting when, I remember, I don't know, you'll make this a clip if I say it. I don't know.
Oh
I'm
my
not going to say it.
God. What if I promise not to? I promise not to.
Okay, don't make this a clip.
Okay,
Keep it in the
promise.
video, but you can make it a clip. I remember when, after her first record or second record, she was winning a Grammy or American Music Award or something. And she got up and she said, I write all my songs totally by myself. I'm a songwriter. And I felt that, like, I know the way those records sound and I know the part of the industry they come out of, and it's okay that there's a lot of collaboration involved in them. That's how big pop stars get things that work in that way. They don't. It's not one person tinkering at home like Fortet.
Nope.
You know what I mean? It is
I'd
like,
love to have a Jack Antonoff in my basement.
yeah. It is a.
My songs would be way better.
It's a machine, you know. And I didn't like that. She, on top of being the most successful at what she's doing, she needed us to think she did it all herself.
Yeah.
Because I thought that was, it was not kind to people that there are a lot of people who do it all themselves and that are never going to be the top because they're not an industry. They're not a corporation. They are artists who sit in their bedrooms and they make records on their, you know, Ableton or whatever. And so I just sort of think there is the sporting, sort of the athletic energy that a lot of people bring into the arts.
Yeah.
Whether it's Joe Rogan or Taylor Swift, like I don't like that athletic energy. I think it's like not that fun.
No, there's a reason it's not sports.
And art, like, you know, like I'm someone who like grew up loving Andy Kaufman. I think bombing is part of the art form. It's
very funny.
And if you don't bomb and if you set yourself up in a life where you kind of can't bomb, suddenly to me the artistry is gone.
Yeah. Wow. Goddamn wisdom. I wonder with the Grammys or whatever the award was, because I've caught myself at times when I'm really in the feels of bitterness, betrayal, whatever it is from some fucking industry shit, you know. And I've gone, when I win some awards, I'm gonna say thanks no one.
Yeah.
I wonder, maybe she was in this unhealed moment of time where she felt that.
Totally. And also as a woman, that there's also a stereotype that there are men behind everything. And I can imagine how, as a creative woman, even if there are collaborators that are male, female, who cares what's behind you? I imagine that presumption would be insulting.
It would be.
And how do you balance, like, I relate to that. Like, Catch My Disease, I co-wrote with my guitar player at the time, McGowan Southworth. Lovely guy, not a professional songwriter. The guy was playing guitar for me at the time. I felt some degree of conflict over sharing credit for that song because I just sort of like my feathers were ruffled by it. I was young and I was immature, you know?
Yeah.
So I totally identify with that. I get it. But that speaks to the fact that my feeling as a spectator was justified, that I was watching a wound rather than an actual
100%.
document of what was really
100%.
happening, you know?
That's so fascinating. It should be a great case study for so many things.
Well, she will be for generations.
Yep. Yep. Wow. Fuck. See, all I said was, let's talk about Taylor Swift. You're so smart.
But you know, the one thing I'll just say, when I'm talking shit, like a lot of people think like I talk shit about a lot of artists. I talk with love for my industry.
Yeah.
And even for the people I don't like, I love that they're giving it 100% and giving me stuff to chew on.
Yes.
Like, I think one of the greatest acts of generosity someone like Taylor Swift could do is say, hey, here's my life, here's my process, here's my business, here's my artistry. Think about it.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
your thoughts.
Yeah.
Share them. Like, I do that.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people who don't like what I do. And I was walking down the street the other day and this guy goes, Bentley, I took my AirPods out. He goes, heard what you said about Triple J Hottest 100. Don't agree with you. And I went, fair. And I kept walking. I was honored. I was honored that he didn't agree with me.
It's thought-provoking.
He'd thought about what I said. And I
yeah.
hope that anyone I've ever spoken with like complex words about realizes that, you know, I don't know, you should feel honored people are thinking about you and talking about you and wrestling with you as a pop
Yeah.
culture figure.
That's a really cool but mature perspective to have. I hope that people can feel that and know that, because it is quite palpable actually being in the discussion with you. It is palpable.
yeah.
Like, your love is clear.
Yeah.
It's very cool. I love that. You want to play some Sleepover games?
Yeah, sure, sure.
And we'll wrap up out of here. It's getting late. All right. Let's start with Would You Rather. You just mentioned Catch My Disease, so I would like to know, would you rather die by disease or cigarettes? Because they'll kill you.
Yeah. Well, cigarettes is meaning emphysema. That is a disease.
I just wrote cigarettes. I'm just making some references to
Okay.
your fantastic
Like
songs,
burning your
okay?
house down. Okay.
You
Yeah.
can take it as you will.
I'd say disease of some kind.
Really? Oh, you were allowed to be creative with the cigarettes. I guess burning a house down is
Burning
pretty
house,
awful.
but that sounds actually really scary.
sounds pretty awful.
Yeah, that
Okay.
sounds terrifying, and it also sounds like it happens before old age potentially.
Yes,
I don't want
true.
my life cut short.
True. And also, like, the people that you leave behind, are they okay? Your stuff for them? Like, you
And with
know.
disease, you always have the chance of leaps of science.
Oh, wow. I
You
mean,
know
it
what
does
I
say
mean?
die by disease, but sure.
That's true, but maybe even your suffering wouldn't be
An
that
optimist.
great.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Good point. Okay, great choice. Fuck, marry, kill. Taylor Swift buying her music back. Triple J's Hottest 100 of all time. And being misrepresented by the media.
Oh gosh.
It's very conceptual. Fuck, marry, kill.
Marry, kill. Okay, I would marry Taylor Swift getting her masters back because I feel like that is security. You know what I mean? That's like
Smart.
we'd have there'd be homes, you know, variety of homes, fully staffed. Sounds wonderful.
Longevity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Nice lifestyle.
Very clever.
I would fuck being misrepresented by the
Great
media
choice. Great
because
choice.
that actually is the dream. Like I just said, being misrepresented means people care and they're thinking, and how hot is that?
It's awesome.
That's,
It's
I mean, like
sexy.
you're in the conversation.
Yes.
That's all we ever wanted, right?
God, so bad. I'd love to be misrepresented.
Yeah, exactly.
Please,
Well, that's what I said. It's
news.com.
like about being pigeonholed. It's like you should be so lucky.
So true.
You know what I mean? And then I guess that leaves me with killing the Triple J Hottest 100 of all time. Sorry, Triple J, I love you. Yeah.
Love Triple J,
Yeah.
but I was on your side.
Someone's gotta go.
I was on your side. Okay, truth or dare?
Oh, I got to pick one.
You got to pick one.
I just have no conception of in this space what dares look like.
That's what you said last time.
Did I really? And I picked truth last time?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, I'll do dare.
You can choose truth if you
Okay.
don't want to do it, but the dare is improvise your version of a parody of Jolene, but about me.
Chloe, 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 Chloe. Please don't end this podcast just because you can. Chloe, 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 Chloe. I'm begging for you. Please don't give my slot to somebody else so that I can return a third time.
Beautifully done.
Thank you. Yeah.
See, I can make up dares for a Ford. It can happen.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me again. This has been wonderful.
It's fun. Glad I got to.
We'll definitely have you back on a third
Okay.
time, please.
Right on.
Do you want to tell? I mean, everyone go listen to Weirder Together.
Yeah, we did get the
obviously.
podcast.
So
me and my
fun.
wife Ione. It's like a weekly. It's like the way. People have seen Ione on your pod too by now, right?
Yes.
So it's like we're married and we just talk about our life and culture and art and our friends and whatever we're into. It's like 45 minutes once a week is really fun.
I mean, two people with incredibly interesting and unique experiences.
Yeah, and we sort of bring that to the way we
Yeah.
think about
Yeah.
things, and what else? I'm sure there's music coming out.
You've
There's
got your
always
live
music coming.
show.
Yeah, live tour, big tour from end of September, end of October. Awake is New Sleep, 20th anniversary tour, and that's probably about it. And I'm at Bentley Music on socials. People can find me.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for listening. I will chat to you next week. Bye.
Did we just become best friends?